Welcome back to the Hamilton Public Library. This is Linda, and today we'll be making tissue paper flowers. Here I have a light pink pom-pom and a sunflower made with black and yellow tissue paper. So today we'll be making a large flower using light pink and dark pink tissue paper. I have 8 layers here of the dark pink and 4 layers of the light pink. This is actually 2 sheets of light pink that are cut in half lengthwise. We're also going to be making a pom-pom to show you how both are made. So I'm going to use the pom-pom to show you how to fold the flowers just because it's easier to see on camera. So here I have about 6 sheets of tissue paper cut in 20 inches by 12. I'm folding along the short edge, so the 12-inch edge, about 1 inch up with each interval and then flipping it over. So you're going to fold an inch, flip it over, fold an inch, flip it over until you're you have completely folded your tissue paper. So after we're done folding the flower, we will then secure it with, you can use a pipe cleaner, string, floral wire, or even staple it in the middle. So I'm going to be using pipe cleaners. I like them because they're soft, but they're still a wire, so it secures it nice and tightly. We're going to fold the tissue paper in half now. And then I'm going to take a piece of short pipe cleaner because it's a small flower, and I'm just going to fold it in half and secure it. Once we have it secured, we're just going to then cut the ends of the folds into a shape. So you don't want to leave it flat. It doesn't give it much texture. So we're going to cut either into a half circle, a point. So today on the pom-pom, we're going to cut into a half circle. But you could do, like I said, a point. You can cut a fringe just to give it a nice appearance. And plus, if you're making a whole bunch of them, then they don't all look the same. Okay, so once you've cut the ends of your tissue paper, we're then going to start separating each layer and fluffing it up. So this takes a bit of time, and you do have to be very careful as the tissue paper tears easily. And you just work your way around very slowly and try to push the tissue paper as closely as possible to the center. This is so that you don't see a gap in the middle of your flower, and then you don't see the pipe cleaner or whatever else you've used to secure it. So we're just going to go through this until it is all fluffed up. I remember making these pom-poms for weddings when I was a kid. You could buy Kleenex at the time that was available in all sorts of different colors. So see, we would make them just like this and a little bit smaller, and then we would put them all over the cars for weddings. Not great if it was raining, but still so much fun to do. These pom-poms and flowers can be made to decorate for a party, for a celebration, for a special event. And the pom-poms, if you make 2 of each, you can secure them back to back with the pipe cleaner or string and hang them, and they make a really cute hanging pom-pom. So I finished the one side. We're now going to do the other. You can see that it's taking form here. It doesn't take very long. And this one is only 6 layers, but if you're making larger ones, the large one we're going to make today will have 8 layers plus the 4 in the middle. It does get a little harder as you get to the end, but as long as you are careful and just move slowly and have a little bit of patience, you'll get a really pretty flower in the end. So here we're almost done. Just a couple more layers and we'll have our pom-pom. It's important that when you are making your flowers, you can do them any sizes as long as the tissue paper is in a rectangular shape. So you don't want to start with a 20-inch by 20-inch tissue paper. Your flower will not come out right. So it always has to be in a rectangle. So like I said, this was 20 by 12. And here you have a very pretty pom-pom, very symmetrical. So the next flower we're going to make is the dark and light pink. I've already made the folds in this one. The size of the paper again is 20 inches by 30. So we fold it along the 20-inch side. But for this one, I'm going to remove the middle pieces so that I can cut the ends. We're going to cut them in a point instead of a circle this time, just to give it a different look. This paper is, this tissue paper is a little bit more thick than the kind of stuff you find in the dollar stores. It's a bit of better quality, so you don't need as many layers to make your flowers, but if you are using the ones from the dollar stores, which I've always used to make flowers in the past, you will need a few more sheets. So here I have 8 of the dark pink, but you may need 10 or 12 depending on how thin the paper is. I'm going to put the light pink back in the middle and we're going to refold it. But first we want to make sure that it is centered. So I'm just going to grab a ruler, make sure that it's centered, and then we're going to refold along the folds along the creases we've already made. So I'm just going to quickly measure here. If your middle sheets are not centered, when you are pulling them up, you'll find that one side will be higher than the other, which won't look so great. So you want to make sure it's as centered as possible. So now you can see I'm refolding along the creases. Then we're going to do the same thing we did with the pom-pom. We're going to fold it in half. It will be a little harder to fold it in half, but just hold it tight and press down to make that crease. And again, I'm going to use a pipe cleaner to secure it. And you want to make sure that the light pink side is going to be the top. So you're going to fold your pipe cleaner in half, and the folded part will go along the light pink part. If you do it the other way, once you start peeling up your layers, you'll see that the pipe cleaner is sticking out. I also like to use pipe cleaners because it provides you with a wire at the back, so you can use that wire to secure it. You know, if you're hanging them, it's helpful to have that wire at the back. So now you can see here I'm going to cut them into points instead of circles, again, for the outer layers. And it is a bit more difficult because I do have more sheets of tissue paper. So I am struggling a bit here. The scissors are pretty good, but again, too many layers. I'll show you on the other end how to cut it with just a few sheets at a time. So I'm going to grab just a few folded sheets. I'm going to make my cut, and then I'm just going to follow with the rest of the sheets following the first cut that I made. So you can see here I'm grabbing a few more, and I'm just going to cut along the first layer and so on. So this is a bit easier to get through all the layers. Oh, I missed a layer there, so I'm just going to cut that. And now we're going to do the other side. And then we'll start peeling each layer, just like we did with the pom-pom. Until we have a flower. So we're going to start with the pink, the light pink side. You're going to spread it out and you're going to find the first layer and start pulling it up. And again, you want to go as close as possible to the center so you're not leaving a gap in the middle and you can't see the pipe cleaner or whatever else you used. Now I did mention when we were making the pom-pom that you could staple the center because the pom-pom was only 6 layers. This flower has 8 of the pink and 4 of the middle, so 12 layers is quite a lot to try to get through with a stapler, so you may need to use string or wire unless you have a heavy-duty stapler. I love the contrast of the two colors, the light pink and the dark pink. You can make any combination you want. There's so many colors available. I've even used tissue paper that had gold polka dots on it that I found at the dollar store. So you'll see in the photos at the end that there's lots of color combinations that you can use. So now I'm moving on to the large layers. And again, we're going to do the same thing. You're going to pull lightly and try to get to the center. With large layers, there's more tissue paper to rip, so be very careful. So we're going to finish this side and then we're going to speed up the second side and I'll come back and show you what the flower looks like. And you may remember that I made a similar one that I showed at the beginning of the video of a sunflower with the yellow tissue paper and the black. So that flower was also cut in the same way with points at the end. So you can see here I'm almost done. So we'll fluff up the other side and we'll come back and show you what it looks like. And we're back with the flower all finished. I'm just fluffing it up. So you can see how pretty it looks with the dark pink and the light pink. I hope you enjoyed this video today and I hope you'll catch my other videos on this channel. Thank you.